You know what I wanted to
Definitely.
ask you about? This is completely unrelated to what we usually do here, and Kris won't even really know what I'm talking about. So I'll get the audience up to speed. The way that I actually discovered you was not like the Dana White interview or Donald Trump Jr. I actually came across the PJ Braun interview, and for those who
Yeah.
don't know, so PJ Braun is a former bodybuilder, owns Blackstone Labs, and it seems like he was an old friend of yours because
Yes.
it was just a great interview between you guys.
Yeah.
So that's how I discovered the show. I didn't even know you were in the firearms industry necessarily, and I was like, this is great. So the crazy thing with him, I'm just wondering, as like a personal friend, is it looks like PJ is going to be going to jail basically for selling supplements that were,
What?
I guess you would say, what would you say, gray market?
They
How
would
it's like,
call them spiked. So himself and Aaron Singerman with Redcon One are involved in a lawsuit, right? I don't know if you know Aaron.
no, I do. I've been keeping up with all this,
Yeah.
so like I feel like you're the guy who would know, you know. So
Oddly enough, I kind of know who the judge is too in the case.
wow, you know everybody, bro.
There's a lot of weird wrinkles. Okay, so I think they're both. I think they're listen. Spiking in supplements has been going on for 1,000 years, going all the way back. We were joking. I don't know if you remember Ultimate Orange. They used to say like it was in it.
Yep.
So there's been spiking going on in supplements forever. It's highly frowned upon. Ultimately, they're not trying to get PJ. They're not trying to get Aaron. They're trying to get the lab that manufactures their stuff. And they're trying to get people like Jared Weed, who owns the lab that they got their stuff from. So how do I think it plays out? You know, they hit them. The feds usually, as Kris knows, don't take a case to court unless they're going to win. So they had something like 50 counts on them. I think they're going to get something out of it. I think Aaron, because you see all his political entanglements and who he's hanging out with, he was trying to get a pardon. I think there was a rumor out there that he was trying to do that or lobbying for that. I could have told him that was never going to happen.
Yeah, no way. No.
No chance of that. Kris could have told him that.
Yep.
It doesn't work
Well,
that way.
I mean, to be fair, though, you never know. I mean, like we had Gary Brugman on the podcast, right?
Sure.
Who was a Border Patrol agent, and he was on the show saying, I'm looking to get a pardon from Trump. And in my head, it was like, it's never going to happen. But it happened.
I think for his, though, in my opinion, Ian, is that
it's a different.
And it was border control.
Yeah.
It was border patrol. And that, that's huge. Politically, that's huge.
Yeah.
Where spiking supplements is not going to help a politician.
He was a very unique case, and how he came across even Trump's desk was very unique. And it just kind of by happenstance happened that way. And Kris is 100% right. Him being a federal employee and a lot of the different entanglements with that obviously lent different to the political climate. I think with PJ and Aaron, nothing is beyond the realm of possibility. But I think in that situation, I think they're both going to get hit with something, whether or not it ends up resulting in a multi-million-dollar fine, because feds like money too. They don't necessarily like time, and maybe 5 years of probation or some situation. I don't know, but I think they're both going to get hit with something, and I think that they both know that. I've always said PJ, the reason he's one of my friends, and I like the guy, is he'll survive anything. He's like a cockroach. You can drop a nuclear bomb, and he's going to survive. And I like survivors, and he's a guy that finds a way. He embraces what he is. He loves doing the TNA thing. He likes all that stuff. It's fun
that he does,
yeah. So I think he's closer to what you see is what you get. Now, I don't know Aaron as intimately. I know him personally. I could say I don't think either one of them would do well in jail. I think PJ would have the best path and probably would understand what he's doing the most. But, I mean, nowadays in these environments we're in, and Kris knows this, if you're not indicted, you're not invited. So I don't know that even is a problem anymore.
So here's the thing, though. I've been like keeping up with the people on YouTube talking about this, and you know how it is with YouTube. Like there's a million people who will read something, they don't know these guys, but they'll give their comment on it. They got to get the clicks. Like, so I feel like you're an interesting guy to talk to because you actually know these guys. And like the rumor I'm hearing from YouTube is that Aaron Singerman kind of like snitched on someone, and that's why he's getting a lesser sentence than your friend PJ, who it looks like has not spoken.
Yeah, I think there's probably some truth to that, knowing the personalities and the players. It wouldn't be beyond the realm of possibility. But to everybody out there that comments and chimes in, I think, Kris, you'd agree. Until you're staring down the barrel of 10 years, I don't want to hear shit from anybody about what gets said and what doesn't get said. I'm not saying go snitch to get a lesser sentence, but who knows what the deal was, who they were trying to get to. Maybe Aaron was first to give up Jared, who was the lab, who was developing it. We don't know. I don't know what he knew and didn't know, but again, you can't even go back through someone's phone and understand those conversations because they were both really, really close at one point. And when something's that close, like it's a husband and wife, either you see a full turn on that person or you don't. And I think Aaron is taking a little bit of a turn on him, but I don't think they're both going to be able to outrun it in any way.
They're good. If the feds want it, and you haven't done it correctly from the beginning, which obviously they're doing stuff illegally, so they're not doing it correctly. You're going to get caught. You're good. I tell her, you're going to get, if you're doing something illegal and you're going against the feds and you haven't, well, take even just writing books. Look at books, for example. No Easy Day, written by our buddy Matt. Nothing. He didn't do it the right way when he came out with it. He didn't, and the feds, the Navy, came after him and took the proceeds from his book, and we're going to slam him just because he didn't get a clearance lawyer and get it cleared, even though there's absolutely nothing classified in that. Nothing.
And to be fair, that's a good comparison because I think PJ is in the same realm in that I don't think PJ necessarily did anything immoral. Like, to be fair, he wasn't selling steroids or anything like that. He wasn't selling bunk supplements that didn't work. From what I know, they basically had ingredients that worked and were like a little bit, is this legal? Is this not legal? And unfortunately, a lot of the times when these sources that they use actually are effective, the FDA is going to ban it.
Yeah. And that's what it is. Go ahead, John.
No, I was going to say, and if you know the supplement industry, spiking was a very, very common thing. And they would say, Kris, we've all been in those stores, or Ian, they'll hand you this one bottle, they'll hand you this one bottle, they'll say, take both of these together. Some of us just get to a point where I'm like, fuck that, I'll go get a doctor and I'll get the real thing. Who cares?
Yeah.
Because now it's not that hard, guys.
Yeah.
There's a low T commercial every day.
I know.
Doctors that'll prescribe me whatever I want. So to me, what they did isn't that exciting. Now, where it becomes dangerous, and the feds are correct in this, is if you have children taking it and people that don't understand the risk. I totally get that. I'm not minimizing spiking. But spiking has been going on in the supplement industry for 1,000 years.
Wasn't Ultra Rip Fuel? Wasn't that when that first came out? This is when I was in the Army. We had Army guys dying because they were chugging that stuff before PT.
Kris,
and they
I'm
were
sure you were taking methamphetamines and Russian Bear and Ultimate Orange, and I could rattle off brands that you probably took that were fucking bathtubs.
Oh, the Tiger, Wild Tiger. Oh my God, you can only get that in Iraq. Oh my gosh,
people used to say Ultimate Orange had dynamite in it. That was the rumor. It had dynamite in it. So I don't know if that passes the FDA, but it can't be good.
As long as they're making their money, it always comes down to money. It comes down. And why I was telling about Bissonnette's book is because he's the one that advised us, hey, get your clearance lawyer and get yourself protected, because whether you say anything classified or not, if you're making money, they're going to come after you. But if you got it done and you got your protection with your clearance lawyers secure, then you're going to be, and we did. And that's why we were able, and believe me, I think they would have wanted to hammer us at that time, but we listened to what Matt, and that's what I loved about the community. It was Matt, he advised us. It's like, this is what you need to do. Guys, I don't want to see what happened to me happen to you guys. So this is what, and it was awesome, but that's what you see. The feds are going to come after.
Everybody in every tale that they tell is going to make their resume look like the best shining, glowing representation of them or their baby or whatever it is that they're designing, or this podcast or my own. And I'm all for that. I always say, just give me a shred of truth to cling on to. Give me something, and I'll be your best friend for life. Just tell me something, awesome. And I think, guys that get in those positions like PJ and Aaron and folks that maybe publish and violate a publishing law or do that, they're trying to make the fish a little bit bigger than maybe they should. And, they kind of got to bring it back into reality. And a lot of ego and hubris is built into that. But ultimately, I don't think these are master arch criminals either. I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
This is like a gray collar crime, really.
Well, it's like that you're taking a shortcut when you just take that little bit longer and make sure you're safe. No, the money's looking too good. That 2,000 is looking better than that 1,000. Let's go ahead and take that extra shortcut and not spend that extra week of just making sure that we are in line with the government. And
And can I throw something out there? When I'm in South Florida, PJ is truly like a local celebrity. Like I'm driving around in Miami or something, and I see a giant billboard with PJ Braun's face of just this guy who owns this supplement company. He seems like a great dude, genuinely. But sometimes people get caught up in negative things. I just know that's life.
I think you have to love his risk taking and marketing, Ian. You know what I mean? Like he's willing to try anything. And I was blessed to work with him through the years, and I've always, PJ and I go back to when he lived in Connecticut. We go that far back. So you're talking about him and Aaron, I've probably known PJ longer. But, I think that when you're willing to try and forge into new territory, you always remember the guys. Like I remember coming up, the guys who were in the Recoil magazines, the guys, and even before that, you remember all those guys associated with the brand. I remember watching the old Tanto productions as a kid.
Oh my gosh. I remember doing that first video I did for what's his face out there at Tanto Productions, and remember the Marine though that was faking the funk and he got busted, and I forgot.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and
I know who you mean. Yeah, I forget his name too.
But that Tanto was the only thing back in the day. That was it.